My dad was just my role model. You know, I never had one specific thing I wanted to do in my life. But the one thing I always wanted to do, I noticed how my dad never asked, and he never had to ask anybody for anything. When he paid that bill, it was with his money. You know, when he bought that car, it was with his money. And up until I got married, you know, I looked at him as like, one day, man, I'm gonna have my own house. You know, when like people look at, man, you know, a heat bill is a problem or a gas bill is a problem. For me, I was like, my dad paid that. I can't wait. You know, for me, he was the antithesis of what a man should be or what a man is. You know, so when I got my first bill in my name, you know, and I paid that bill, I felt like, man, you know, I felt like he would be proud of me. Like I was one of those little kids who always wanted my dad to be proud of me. You know, when I played basketball and he would come to my games, and even now, you know, I still want my dad to be proud of me. You know. Because I mean, he meant so much. He means so much to me, you know. So he was a role model, you know.
My dad wasn't a hero, you know. I respect. I hear what y'all have to say. My dad was none of that. He was distant, cold, abusive, unavailable, and not abusive towards the children, but towards my mother. And it's like every time he came, it was a different angle. It was kind of like, Mom, you letting this dude back again? And every time he left, she was pregnant. I have 6 brothers and sisters. 2 of my brothers have passed on. I have 3 sisters left. But my dad was not, he was not anything that I was proud about. He was my friend. I was cool with him. We smoked weed together. We hung out when he was available. My friends came over because I had the cool father. I would go over their house to see the father that really was about his business, and I always wanted that in my household. I would go and look at a good friend of mine, Joe Adams. I would go over his house. His father really put it down. He was a disciplinarian, and I would go over there wishing like, I wish my dad was that, but I understood that my dad came from a situation where his father was just like that. His father was unavailable, cold, and absent. So my dad wasn't a hero at all. At least he wasn't for me. And he wasn't anything that I wanted to be. So the way that I am with my daughter is totally opposite than the way that my dad was with me. Okay. And that's what helped.
My father, we got more of a friend relationship as opposed to a father-son relationship. Him and my mother was never together during my life, so I didn't grow up with 2 parents in the house, which kind of, you know, I wish would have been different. I kind of take his good things as well as his mistakes, and I learn from him and kind of use it when I kind of approach my daughter. So I know the things that he did well, I know the things that he didn't do well, so I just try to make sure I don't make the same mistakes with my daughter.
I would like mine was a superhero, but he was a ghetto superhero. The big rollers, the perm, pimp, drug dealer, you know, all of that. But one thing about him is that he just always instilled family. You know, like all he was doing in the street, everything he did was for his family. You know, he took care of his family when you were there. So all the dirt he did, he always instilled family. If he could see you, he was going to do things to you. And my mother always said, when you're in Alabama, you A student, honor student. Here, you're CBD student. I said, well, he had a gun.